We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Just about set for football. Blake Groupie is ready to get us started. Washington now brings this out. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They'll run. Here's Devon Achane. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. Again, it's Achane. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll run for it with Achane. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. Deep for New Orleans is Rashid Shaheed. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The New Orleans offense set to take over. In motion right, Olave. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
From the 41, here's 2nd and 3. Kamara try the right side. And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 39. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Open man left side. Shaheed has it. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 8. They're going to look to throw. Complete to Olave on the out route. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. But give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Cooks will come in motion right. Back to throw again. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Well, they try to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So after the field goal, back out is Groupie to send this one away. Washington now brings this out. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
A quick throw there is incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Tua. A short one here, secured by the tight end Waller. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Achane. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Off a play action, Tagovailoa. He'll dump this off to Achane.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. This will be caught by Brown. The last 3 plays have resulted in gains of 1, 2, and now 3 yards here. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Tua sets up to pass it. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Partner, you know what I'm going to say before I even say it.
Yeah, you just cannot take a sack in that spot.
You're exactly right. You can't take a sack in that spot. Potentially now a 3-point swing right there.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Well, how about that? The defense's first sack. It doesn't come from one of the usual suspects up front. It comes from the secondary.
Yeah, I think they called the quarterback off guard a little bit because he wasn't able to account for the possibility of that blitz and change the blocking assignments. He comes through and puts him on the ground.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again 3rd and long now. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there. And he'll take it just outside the 40. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
From the gun, it's Tua. Throw left side complete. That's Hill. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he's brought down, but not yard line. On EA Sports. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football. It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for first and goal. Now Tua on the bootleg here. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. From 8 yards out, and the Dolphins have taken the lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From his end zone, here's Rashid Shaheed. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Set to take over once again. Out comes the Saints offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Coming left is Kamara. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll set up a throw. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Blocking at the point of attack there was very strong. He had a couple of running lanes.
And I never want to overlook the offensive line, but that's what they get paid to do. How about the quarterback? Everyone thinks all he's going to do is throw the football. His movement and deception can help a running game as well.
That'll be taken in by Shaheed. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Second and 4. Working the middle here. That's complete to Moreau, the tight end. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 24-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. They'll look to throw here on first down. It gets this complete to Shaheed. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, Something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open. That makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
One thing I do know that offensive linemen like, they like a guy who's carrying the ball that will take what is blocked. Not try and create a big play and maybe take a loss, not try and go where the blocking isn't. But if it's just all that's there and you just put your head and your shoulders down and get that, you get the respect of the big guys up front.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
9-yard line, 2nd and 6. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. They run it again with Kamara. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. And his kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for them and with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
So after the field goal, back out his groupie to send this one away. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return. Dolphins offense returning to the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Up the middle, Achane. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. Hill going to go in motion right. Out of the gun, here's a give to Achane. And it doesn't matter who carries it, apparently, as they'll drop him behind the line as well. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there, because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. From midfield, here's Tua. He'll let this go deep for Waddle. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 50 yards. And the Dolphins are able to stretch out their lead. He's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye.
He just takes off and goes, and I think that's what we just saw there.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe something to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Now 2nd and 3. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he'll find Moreau here. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Downfield, and he's got Olave. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Chris Olave, 54 yards. And the Saints have come back to make it a 2-point game. And they just ran the fly route there, didn't they?
You broke it down perfectly. He ends up catching that one and taking it all the way into the end zone.
Well, thanks. It was pretty simple to break down, though. I mean, that's just a guy going, running on the go route, making a play.
Speed,
kills.
Speed, speed. And what does it do?
It kills.
There you go.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Right back to Jalen Waddle for another catch. And he goes out right around the 39. Couple of Alabama guys there. Two to Waddle for the Miami first. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And going deep for Hill. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, the first two drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now Tua. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Looking to pass. Tua. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 40. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Tua going to throw. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Flush to his right. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Tua Tagovailoa scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Dolphins will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Saints offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The tight end in motion right. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Second down and 8. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that's caught inside the 30. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, he looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps, and he delivers a big play here for this offense.
Again, he'll drop to throw. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, as the first half is winding down. And the Saints are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
Yeah, touchdown. I love it. Now it's only a 2-point game. I know it's the first half, but you've got to think. Go for 2. Tie it up. Go into the locker room. What are you doing? Come on.
You're bold. You're bold.
It's real easy to be bold sitting up here rather than down there and making that decision.
We don't have to make those decisions. Either way, little time left on the clock here in the second quarter. We'll see how this all plays out. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Now the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half. And with a 1-point lead, you'd have to think they'll be looking just to get this to halftime. 15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Now the Saints going to take over on offense to begin this third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game, and to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Now 2nd and 5. Now they'll toss it out right to Kamara. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. 53 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it, and the running game is starting to pay off.
Back to throw now on first down. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. Pitch and catch there good for 13. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Here comes third and the length of the football. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. To about the 26 here.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second down and 6 now from the 26. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 13-yard line. 13 yards down to the 13.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Now the Saints offense will remain on the field and go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2. Tried to roll out and make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and they end up getting sacked.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Washington. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Tua sets up to pass it. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Colin Saunders collapses the pocket and drops him for a loss of 3. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Brian Brzee fought in and got him down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
He'll let this go deep for Waddle. And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better, had time to survey the field, and still couldn't find an open receiver.
And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Open man left side. Shaheed has it. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
2nd and 6. Working the middle here, that's complete to Moreau, the tight end. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Here comes 3rd and about a foot. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag, punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
They were maybe hoping for a little bit of a back shoulder fade there, and that's a play that's been in vogue the last few years in all aspects of football. But they couldn't get the hook up there.
2nd and 10. A run straight ahead with Achane. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. Here's Tua. And this is going to be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now. as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
He'll find Shaheed out to the right.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Kamara up the middle. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
And he'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 20-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains. So with a yardage on that completion, he's now right at exactly 300 yards on the game.
And isn't that the magic number you get? All right, 300. That means it's going to go on a commemorative football to put on your mantle when they give you the game ball if your team wins. So much confidence flowing through him right now, throwing the football.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the Dolphins are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. After the turnover, it's Tua. Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle.
They'll wind up getting just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. From the gun, it's Tua. It's Hill, complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. So the completion good for 7 there. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the 4th. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. 39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The New Orleans offense set to take over. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
From them. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
He lets it go deep for Olave.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. The Saints coming out now to take the field.
And now after the big punt return that got him down here, they'll try to make it pay off. 1st and goal.
So now then the penalties got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll look to throw. This is caught. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Back to throw here. Got a man, it's Cooks. Touchdown, New Orleans.
A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Saints get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10.
Just shy of the 30.
And the drive starts with a run from Achane.
And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Looking to pass. Tua. Over the middle, complete. It's Hill. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Tua to Tyreek for the Miami first.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Here's Tagovailoa to throw.
Throw caught by Achane.
And he is going to lose yardage here. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Now Tua.
Over the middle and complete to Waddle.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On play action, here's Tua. Rolling to his left. Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a first down.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Tua going to throw. They complete it to Hill. Past the 20. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
And here's a spot where this offense says, we got to start making something happen. We're down 2 scores. It's the 4th quarter. We've got to start moving with some urgency. And here's a big play that gives them a ray of hope that they can get back in this one.
Back to the ground, HN. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back. I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Sanders' kick is good, and that lead is back down to 9 now. Well, no field goal attempts for him until the final quarter, but no hesitation on his end. He comes right out and nails his first field goal try.
And give him a lot of credit, too, because he stood there the entire ball game but has managed to stay with it both mentally and physically. When they called on him, he was ready, and he knocked it through the posts.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Artie Burns, the cornerback, brings him down.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
And this is the worry, because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up, and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
The Saints on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time it's 3rd and 3. A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to kick it away.
And now a high kick, but he hit it straight up. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at the 45.
Hand off to Achane to begin the drive.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa.
Short throw, going to be caught by Waller.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
On target over the middle to Hill. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Throwing again on 2nd down.
Tua. He's into space past the 25.
And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 20-yard line. 2 big plays in succession, and the Dolphins on the move. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Chewing up big yardage, another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami.
It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Well, they weren't messing around. 1st and goal, they don't do anything fancy. They just go to the fullback right away.
I like how you phrase that because oftentimes they come back to the fullback when it's late in the down and distance count, right? In this case, 1st down, let's go get it right now.
And he got it. 6 points on the board. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line.
Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough 1st downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football. Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Trying to run down some clock with Kamara. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner. And there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one. And here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Again, it's Kamara. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A give to Kamara running right. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself. And that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he will have a Saints 1st down. It has been a struggle, but it's looking like that'll be the one to seal a victory for him. It's a gain of 4, and that should just about seal the deal.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. Well, this ball game was close throughout. Remember, it was neck and neck at intermission, neck and neck at the end, but a great job to come in here in a tough environment, Charles, and get the victory.
Yeah, tough environment indeed. How about all the people we can hear shouting from their seats right below us, partner? They weren't real happy that their team didn't keep the home field. How about how these visitors came in, calm every step of the way, even with all the pressure, and found a way to get out of here with a win?
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. And with that, we sign off from Miami.